All right, good morning, class. Today we're going to go over a really basic squash and stretch concept, animation concept in Flash. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be making a ball bounce into a bucket. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up Flash, and here's your screen. You're going to choose ActionScript 3.0, and now you have your screen. Next, we're going to bring in our three main objects, which are a ball, a beach ball. It can be any type of ball, okay? So I'm going to go on to Google, and I'll just type in, beach ball. Okay. And then basically you're going to right click, you're going to copy image, and then you're going to paste it into Flash. Now, we do need to get rid of this white box here. So all you're going to do is you're going to come over here, click on the image, right click on the image, and you're going to click on edit with Adobe Photoshop, cancel, and then make sure, oh, that's that one. We want, there it is. Is that it? Yeah. Here's the ball. Make sure that you do not have any kind of background, so deselect it, and then say File, Save. It's not working. Hold on. Okay, these ones all worked before. Okay, I'm going to close out of all this real quick. Okay, let's go back to Flash. Okay, so you have your image. You're going to right click, go to Edit with Adobe Photoshop. Now, it's important to get rid of the white background. So you're going to delete it, Control D, say File, Save. Now, what's super cool is if you go back to Flash, it has now changed your image for you. Okay, so you have your image and there is no white background. All right. Okay, now we're going to go bring in your bucket. Okay, and then copy image, bring it into Flash, and then Control paste it in. Now again, I have to go get rid of my white background. So all you do is right click, edit with Adobe Photoshop. At this point, we also need to remove the back of the bucket because that's going to be on a separate layer. That way it looks as if the ball's going into the bucket. So again, remove your background. I'm going to lower my tolerance to about 15. And then I'm also going to cut out this part. Okay, there you go. And then I'll do Control X. I'm going to cut it out. And again, it doesn't have to be totally perfect, but good enough. And then again, File, Save. And if you go back to Flash, it has altered it for you. Okay, so this is a great new thing that Flash has done because they know how much we use the two together. I am going to go back to Photoshop really quick, and I'm going to do File, New. Make sure your background is transparent, and I'm going just to paste that top of my bucket. I'm going to say File, Save As, and I'm going to call it my top one. And I'm going to save it as a PNG. So PNG. This is a different file that we have not used yet. And I'll save it. And make sure it's interlaced. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go into Flash and I'm going to kind of place everything. I'm going to delete my bucket here. So I have my ball on layer 1, and you can actually call this your ball layer. And then I'm going to get a new layer, and I'm going to have this be my bucket layer. Okay. And then I'm also going to have my top of my bucket. And again, it's important that you're naming your layers because it does get confusing. Okay. So I first have my ball, which I'm going to kind of shrink, have it here. All right. And then I have my bucket layer. So I'll bring this in on my bucket layer. And I'll shrink that, put it over here. And then I'm going to import now my top. So I'm going to say File, Import, Import to Library, Desktop, and I'll bring in my top. Okay, and there's my top. And I'll bring that in on this layer. And again, you can use your arrows to kind of move things. Okay. All right, bingo. That's good, and that looks decent. Okay. Again, we will put in a background. If you prefer to use a template, all you need to do is go onto Google and type in squash and stretch like ball template, and there's a ton of them. Okay, it's a very famous animation move. You can choose which one you think works best for you. I only need you to do 1, 2, and in the third it needs to go into the bucket. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one. All you do is copy the image and then make a new layer and place it in. Okay, at the very end we'll put in our background. So I'm going to drag this to the back. Okay, and now we can kind of start. So the bucket and the ball, no, the top and the bucket, I'm going to move over here. Okay, and then my ball, I'm going to start up here. And I'm going to shrink my ball a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to start now with my my F6 frame stops. First off, I want to make sure that my bucket and also my background are at the end of my frame. So here I'm going to do my top, my bucket. I'm going to go to like 50, and I'm going to hit F6. So there they are there. I'm going to come back to my ball. My layer 4, I'm also going to click on 55 and hit F6. So all I'm doing is bringing that picture from frame 1 all the way to frame 55 so that it'll be part of the sequencing of my story. All right, I'm going to start with my ball. I'm at frame 1. All I do is ready. I move it, pick frame 2, F6. Move it, frame 3, F6. Now I'm going to move it down here. At this point, I might modify, transform, free transform. So I might shrink it, squash it, rotate it a little bit. Frame 4, F6. Okay, so it's you move it, place it where you want it, pick the frame, F6. Move it, place it where you want it, frame, F6. Move it, place it where you want it, frame, F6. I'm going to go a little bit fast here because of time. So I'm moving it, picking my frame, F6. Moving it, squashing it, maybe rotate it a little, pick my frame, F6. Move it down, pick my frame, F6. Move it, pick my frame, F6. Move it, pick my frame, F6. And again, you're moving it, and you just keep picking your frames. F6. Now, we want it to go down behind. So pick your frame, F6. There it is, hiding. However, we want this frame, this guy, the top, to be behind it. So make sure to move that. Now let's play and see what we have. That's the end of it. Okay, and play. Okay, so it's way too fast at this point. So what we need to do is it's at 24 frames. I'm going to put it at 10 per second. Now it's going behind. So let's get the top and bring the top above and see what happens now. All right, control play. Oh, it's still doing that. We need the ball on top of the bucket. Let's try that. And I think the bucket... All right, now we have to have the bucket in front of the ball. Now we go. Okay, here we go. This should do it. Rewind. I'm running out of time.